Hey guys, today I'll be giving you a tutorial on how to make Mario Kart 7 custom tracks. So this is probably going to be a full tutorial. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you'll need to know. And just like before we start, just know that you need to have a little creativity. And you need to have a little knowledge in like 3D modeling and how like tracks work and stuff. So in a track, there's several main parts. We have the course model, which is obviously, it's like the 3D model that you drive on. Then we have textures. This pretty much just gives the course like feel, and it gives it the color, and it just makes it look good. Like if you didn't have any textures, it would literally just be a white model and you wouldn't be able to tell where you were going or anything. So that's textures. Then we have a KCL. This tells the game what you can drive on and like what's like out of bounds, not out of bounds. It tells you like what you can drive on, what's a boost pad, what is like grass that'll slow you down. So it's pretty much just collisions. I spelled that wrong. And then next we have a KMP. This tells the game out of bounds. It tells it respawn points and starting points and stuff. I'm not going to be going over how to make a KMP in this video, but I mean, I have to put this video together anyway, so if I figure out like how to make a KMP before like I actually upload this video, then I'll definitely add that in here. So what I'm saying right now might not be true. I might make a KMP tutorial, but I don't know. I'm just going to be going over each of these in parts, so I'll have links in the description to what part of the video, like what time, so you can just click on it and then it'll bring you to the part where I'm teaching you about that. So KMP just tells you out of bounds, respawn points. It tells you like where the lap counts are so that you can actually complete a lap, and just stuff like that, just general like course information. So these are all of the things. So first we're going to need to decrypt a Mario Kart 7 ROM. So once you get that, you should have like a folder that looks similar to this. This is the ROM-FS folder, and then we're going to have a course folder in here. Just click on that, and then these are all of the courses in the game. So I'll just be telling you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna be replacing my GCN Luigi circuit that I had because that was not good. So I'm gonna be completely remaking GCN Luigi circuit for Mario Kart 7. So this is probably gonna be my next like custom track release, so you get to watch me in the progress of making it. Everything I do like for the next release, I'm going to be doing in the video, so you'll be able to tell what it'll actually look like when it's finished. So I know that the course I modified was GN64. I accidentally went back. GN64 Luigi circuit. So here it is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click. I don't even know if you can see that. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy this. I know that my downloads folder is empty, so that's good. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it GCN. Oh wait, no, caps lock is on. So this is going to be my project folder. I'm going to put all my stuff in here. So I'm going to start by pasting the thing in here so I know what to modify and stuff. So now I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call it 3DS, and then I'm also going to make a new folder. And since I'm actually, instead of porting it from the GameCube itself, I'm going to be porting it like from the Wii, because the Wii also had a custom track for GCN Luigi circuit. So I'm going to be porting it from the Wii. So this is going to be the original 3DS files, and this is going to be the original Wii files, and this is going to be the finished product. So So you're going to need to download every file explorer, which you will find in the description, a link to it, the latest build. So just double click on it and it'll open up. So I'm gonna, I need to stretch this to the proper size. So now we're gonna do File, Open, and then we're gonna go into our downloads or wherever you had the thing that you just copied, and we're gonna open this up. So these are like the maps. So here's the big map of it, and here's the low detail map of it. We're gonna worry about those later. I'm gonna be going over how to make a custom map for it too. But yeah, so first you're gonna need to find the model that's actually the course. So if you go up to the top, the file name will be up here. So search for file name .bcmdl. So here it is. It's usually the biggest one. I've never encountered a time where it wasn't the biggest one, so I'm pretty confident that it's always the biggest one in here. So double click on it to open it up, and then you see you can use the buttons on your keyboard to control the camera and stuff. So just to make sure this is the course we want to edit, yep, this is it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to click this green leaf button. That's an export button. We're going to go to our downloads, and we're going to save it into the 3ds folder because this is the original files. You'll notice that you can do it as a day or an OBJ. I like to do it as both, just so that the program that I'm using to edit it, I have to make sure that it supports the file format, so it's just safest to do it with both file extensions. So there we are, and here we have the textures. So I'll just let you look through these real quick. That's all of them. So now you're gonna need the Wii file. So I'm just gonna go online. I'm gonna search GCN Luigi Circuit Wii custom track, and then it looks like here's one. Just gonna watch this to make sure it's the one I want. Yep, this looks like it. So this track is created by Torun. Oh wow, they didn't even include a download link. So I'm gonna have to find a download link for it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Andrew here from the YouTube channel Hendo555. Today I'm introducing a new series on Bella's channel, custom track commentaries. So what we're pretty much going to do on this channel for you guys is I'm going to take you guys through some of my favorite custom tracks.
Oh my god. I need to find a download link. Oh, here it is. I know that this is a nice website for finding it. So here's the download link. Okay, there it is. So I'm gonna close out of Google Chrome for now, and then here it is. So I'm just gonna rename this to, and I'm going to cut it instead of copying it, so that I know so that I don't get confused and edit that one or whatever. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click and we're gonna open it with SZS modifier. So you might not have this installed. You can just search it up online. Just search MKW SZS modifier, and it'll probably be the first link. So this is a pretty popular program used by Mario Kart Wii custom track creators. Unfortunately, it cannot edit Mario Kart 7 tracks. It'll give you an error when opening it. But yeah, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to find the course model and .bres. I'm going to right click on it and export raw data. And I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go to Wii. I'm going to save it as course model make sure you include the file extension. That's just the best thing to do. And then save it, and it should save it. So now we're done with this, so close out of that, and you see it's saved. So in the description I'll also have a link to BRES viewer. This is what we need. So wait, no, I want to copy it, I don't want to drag it. So I'm going to extract this, and there we go. So I'm going to delete this, then I'm going to open this, and then I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing because it's a pain to make these windows smaller. Alright, so now we're going to do File, Open Files, and then go to here, go to We, and then find Course Model, and then open it. So it should show up on the Files list, hit plus, then hit plus on 3D Models, and then go to Course, and right click on it and hit Load and Display. So this will display the course like with its textures and stuff. So this is, if it shows up like this, that's great. If it shows up like without textures, then that's not good. You want to make sure it has textures. So now what we're going to do is hit File, Export All Files, and then change this from PSK to OBJ. So there we go. I prefer to change textures to TGA, or to PNG, but if you do it with TGA, it's no big deal. I'll show you a workaround for that. So hit OK, and it might take a while to save it depending on like how big the course is, but sometimes it might say it's not responding. Just ignore it. Okay, so that exported slightly quicker than I thought it would. So just to make sure it actually did it, let's go into here, go to We, Exported, and then we should have a course model and the TGA textures. Windows cannot display these, but Paint.net, which is my image editing program, it can display them. So just to show you, so here's just one of the textures I just clicked on. So if you know anything about 3D modeling, you'll know that you have an OBJ file, which is the model, and you need an MTL file to like actually know where to put the textures. So that's important. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. You have to make sure you hit Load and Display again so that you can see it, make sure that textures are shown up. Then instead of going to File, you're going to go to Model, and you're going to hit Export, and then hit OBJ. And then go back to the place that you had it before, and then click on the course, and then yes, you do want to replace it. So there we go. It might freeze, but just wait for it to finish. See, it says not responding at the top. Just ignore it and see it finish. So now we're going to make sure it's still in there. Yep, we got an MTL file and we still have our OBJ file. So we're going to close out of this. We don't need it anymore. And okay, so yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our 3D modeling program. I prefer SketchUp because SketchUp is nice. It's easy to use. So I'm going to have to adjust the windows so that I can actually put this in the video. Okay, so there we go. Okay, it looks like it's showing up good. So what we're going to do is we're going to erase this guy because we do not want him in our course. And then I'm going to pan this and get a good view of the center. So I'm going to do File. Well, actually, you're going to need an extension that allows you to import OBJ files. So to import extensions, you need to download Fluid Importer Lite, which is the OBJ thing. And then to install it, you're going to go to Window, you're going to go to Preferences, and then you're going to go over to the extensions tab and hit install extension, and then search for the file, and then it'll open it, and then just follow any prompts to import it. Restart SketchUp, and then you'll see a tab for extensions. So we're going to import it with using this, so let's just click on that, obviously, and go into here. But actually we want to import our 3DS one first, so that we know, so that we have a view of how big the course needs to be. So it'll import it, it'll load the textures and stuff, and there we go. So I'm going to get a good view of the center, and then make sure that it says origin when hovering over it. I don't know if you could see that, but it did say origin. So here we go. It doesn't import a lot of the textures because they stored in the other file that we did not export. It was like GN64 Luigi Circuit, perm or something like that. So, but no big deal. We do not need the textures for this. We need the textures for the other one. And so something else I forgot to mention, but it shouldn't be a big deal if you know how to make KMPs, which I might be going over, but make sure that the courses, the models are slightly similar. I'll just show you a GCN Luigi circuit map. Let's go to images, and then you see this looks somewhat close to this, so it's easy to work with it. You don't have to do much editing or whatever. So now we're gonna go to extensions again, and we're gonna import the Wii file now. And then this, this is gonna be huge compared to the 3DS file. But don't worry about it. Do not import it at the center, because that'll just confuse you. Import it elsewhere so that you can actually see it. And then if you look at this, you'll see that it has all the textures are nice, and they're textured on both sides. So that's great news. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit S on my keyboard to scale it. I'm going to click on that model. I'm going to hold down Control when clicking this. And obviously it's not going to be perfectly the right size yet. I'm just going to get this down closer to it so that it's easier to work with. And see, it's still a lot bigger than it. Actually, it's not much bigger. I might even just have to scale it just a little, not much more. Make sure to hold down Control again, and then scale it again. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go down farther into this, and we're going to, actually this is, I think it's the wrong way. Is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is backwards, so if that's the case, then we're going to use this to rotate it. I'm just going to click out of here so that's easier. Wait, no. Make sure that these two lines line up. I can't see it, I'm just looking at the lines. So now they should be, yep, they should be the appropriate size. Now I'm going to move this closer to our file, or model, and I'm going to look for the finish line. So here's the finish line in that one. I'm keeping my eye on it right now, and then but I'm about to take my eye off of it, and there's our finish line on that one. So we need to move the finish lines over each other. So first I'm going to move this down a little. I can't see it right now, but I mean, that's no big deal. I can just move this down. Okay, there's one of the finish lines. Okay, I see both of them now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to line... No, I don't need to move that. I'm going to try and line them up as best as I can. Okay, so I'm gonna take this model, this GCN Luigi circuit, and I'm gonna rotate it just a little. Wait, no, not that one. What was I thinking? I was clicking on the wrong one. Yeah. I need to make sure that I don't click on a face. Okay, so... They look, yeah, it looks about the same rotational level now. That just made no sense at all. Okay, that's perfect, pretty much. As close as I'll get to perfect. So, to make sure that it's actually working out good, I'm going to delete this, but then I'm going to hit Control Z, and then I'm going to go down here, and yeah, I can see, yeah, I see the difference between the levels, but that's no big deal. But something important is that it's better to have the new course model. It's better to have it below than above, because like if it's above, then you might not be able to drive on it, but if it's way too far below, then like you might be counted as out of bounds or something. Okay, well this is good enough for me, I think. I just need to think about like the KMP right now. So here's the original. Let's see how the Luigi circuit lines up with that. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. I could definitely work with this. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate Luigi's circuit up a little bit. So I'm going to click on the new model. I know that this is because it has textures on it. I'm going to like make sure that's on this axis. And I'm going to get fog away so that it's easy to... So here's normal, and then I'm going to go up just a little. About right there should be good. Alright, so... yeah, so just looking at it, it doesn't look like it's too badly lined off. So for now, this should be good, but I'm going to save this as. I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to go to my place where I had it, my project folder. I'm going to make a new one called SKPs, and I'm going to place it here as project with both, so that I know that this is the one that has both of the things in it. And then I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to delete it, and then do File, Save As. Do not overwrite it. I'm going to just save it as project. So this is the one that I'll be editing for my custom track. Okay, so it looks pretty good right now, don't you think? It has all of the textures in it, and it should be good to go. just how it is. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna export this as a 3D model, and we're gonna go to downloads, and I'm gonna make a new folder called version 0.0.1, then save it as whatever, and then it'll export it. And then go into here and look for it. I keep clicking on the wrong one. You know what, since I don't need this anymore, let's just delete it. Okay, here it is. And the project is huge, 2.59 megabytes. I mean, you might be thinking that that's nothing, but for the 3DS, that's huge. But, so now, what we're going to do is I'm going to close out of SketchUp for now. I'm going to go open up Google Chrome, and then I have this bookmarked, but it's an online 3D converter, so this will convert files that are like 3D models. It can convert them to other formats. Like, I do have an OBJ exporter plugin for SketchUp, but it sucks, and this also reduces file size too. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select this. I'm going to hit start uploading. Then once it's done, I'm going to hit next, hit OBJ, next, and then I'm going to start the conversion once this loads. It might take a minute, but I'm going to download this, and I'm going to download this too. Note that sometimes it won't even download the first time, so you have to click on it like a second time for it to actually download. That's the only problem I've noticed with this site, but other than that, these work pretty well. So it's still 1.38, which is huge for the 3DS, but we can work with it. I'll show you something else that might be useful. So there we go. We have our OBJ file, which is the model. We got our MTL file, which tells it where to place the textures. And now we're about to encounter an issue that I know we're going to have ahead of time, but there's an easy fix for it. So let's do File, New from File, Nintendo 3DS plugin, CTL Graphics, CGFX. Then we're going to go to our folder and we're going to select this. For the model name, we're going to make sure that's the original name. So go here and then click on it slowly and hit Control-C to copy the name of it. And then I'm going to paste it in here. So note that it says parameter is not valid, so it will not work. And that's because the textures are still in TGA format. So this is an easy fix. We're going to double click on the MTL file if you've never opened one before. Then you choose to open it with Notepad, like this. And then see, it'll have all this information in there. So we're going to do a file, or not an edit, and we're going to do replace. We're going to search for TGA and replace it with PNG. So replace all, and then it should replace some stuff. And then just close out of that, and then make sure you save it. You have to save it. And then another good site is imageconverter.com or whatever. They have the link on this one. So here, for textures, use this site. So then we're gonna add pictures. So go here, go to the textures, and hit Control-A to copy all of them. And then we only have 10 of them, so that's good. And then I'm going to upload them just like that. And then here we are. So let's go to Next and select PNG. Select Next and Start. And then it should take like a second to convert them. So I'm going to make sure I download all of them. Okay, so that's all of them. Now let's go to the downloads, and we'll have all of these. So I'm just gonna copy all of them to the. I'm gonna cut them actually. I'm gonna cut them into a new folder called Project 2. Then paste them here. I'm going to rename this as Project TGA, and I'm going to rename this to Project. So now we have our PNG files in here. This step isn't necessarily like you can put the TGA files in with other textures, but it's just more organized to do it this way. So next, I'm actually going to look up something online real quick to help reduce file size. So I'll get back to you in a minute. So I'll see you. I'm back. So I looked online and people are saying something about converting PNG to ETC1, which I looked it up and it just looks like some sort of image format used by Android developers. It doesn't look like anything that 3DS can use, but I mean trusted MK7 custom track makers said it, so I'm not doubting them. I'm just saying there's no tools for PC to convert PNG or TGA to ETC1. There's only Android tools, and I'm not going to use one of those. There has to be an easy way, but whatever. So I'm going to use my way of compressing the textures. So go into here, go into your textures, and then just select them all, and then right click on them and hit edit. I have paint.net set as my default image editing program, so it will automatically open them all up. So it's loading them all in the top. So first just start over here and hit Control R, and then I would recommend changing each of the file sizes, dividing it by 2, because it won't look too much worse. Just trust me on this, it won't look that much worse. And so I might even change these to 64. Yeah, because see, it doesn't look like a big deal because this is mostly squares anyway, so 64 should do for that one. This is 1024 by 128, so it still doesn't look that bad, so this is good. This is already as small as we'll probably get it, so that's good. I'm just going to close out of these two. Okay, and then this one, Control R, 128 by 512, I'll do 64 by 256. Still looks good. Go away. There we go, saving it. This one I can probably put to 128 by 128. Yeah, it still looks good. This one I can do 64. Oh yeah, and something I was gonna say but I forgot to say it. Make sure that when you're resizing them, make sure that you don't put a number 100. It has to be a multiple of 16 or 8 or whatever. I don't know the proper number, but it has to be it has to be 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, whatever. It has to be one of those. Don't use 100 or something. So I'll do 128. And I know from experience because I set it to 96 or something because I thought that was a multiple of 32, so I figured it would work, but it didn't. It just made black spots all over. I could probably get away with 64 on this one. Yeah, I could get away with 64, but I'm not going to. I'm going with 128, because still dividing it in half, so This one, you know what, I might even be able to get away with 32 for this one. But nah, I'll go with 64. Is to get the custom tracks to work good without compressing them, you have to sacrifice performance or whatever. Or not performance, you have to sacrifice look. So this is only 251 kilobytes total. That's still pretty big, but I'm just gonna make sure these are all good. And then let's look at the original files and see how big those are. Yeah, these are 2.91 megabytes, so this is tiny compared to them, so we did good there. So now I think we're actually ready for every file explorer. So I'm going to make this good size again. So we're going to do File, New from File, Nintendo 3DS plugin CTL graphics. So remember how we got it to fix? We changed the MTL file, so it imported the PNG textures instead of the TGA textures. So there we go. So that looks nice. I mean, yeah, obviously these are low quality, but like these arrows look absolutely horrendous, but I can get some quality back in them. But for now, we're just worried about the model and getting it to work well. So we're gonna save this as, go into here, we're gonna save it as untitled.bcres. So it should save, and then yeah, this is 1.13 megabytes. Usually you don't want it over 512 kilobytes, but I mean, if you can't help it, it might not be a big deal, but I mean, my 477 kilobyte BCRES still lagged the game like hell, so. And then we're gonna look at the textures, and so I'm gonna open up a text file and take a note of, so by default, we're gonna make a KCL next. By default, these are all going to be drivable upon. So this is like the side of the road. Yes, we want to drive on that. This is grass, so we probably want to get a slowdown or something. So I have a KCL ID list that from dshack.org that I have. So here are all of them. So I'm going to do a Control F, and I'm going to look for grass. Okay, and it looks like 85, so let's take a note. ID 2186 0085, I think it was. Yep. So, and then those, we don't want to be able to drive on those, so ID 2303 equals, and then let's go on here. Let's look for wall. I'll just do 90. Actually, I'll do metal wall. So let's do 55. This is the road, so of course we want to be able to drive on that. Same with that. This is water, so ID 2782. Yep. Equals. Okay. Waterfall boundary water, so let's do 39. $2795. Those are just trees, so I would probably just leave them for now, but for later you probably want to edit these and do something, but I'm too lazy. This looks just like road, so ID 6 it looks like a similar thing to this, but same with that. So for now, we're just gonna leave all those as what they are, and we have these three that we're gonna edit. So I'm just gonna close out of all that for now. I'm gonna do File, New from File, Mario Kart plugin, and Mario Kart 7 collision, and then select the OBJ, and then here are all of the stuff. So we're gonna first look for ID 2186 and change it to 85. So here it is. So just double click or triple or whatever, and then hit enter once you're done. And then ID 2303 is 55. And then ID 2782 right here, and change that to 39. So there we go. We have all of these KCL values into the game. So now the game knows what we can drive on and what we can't. So that's important. So I'm going to X out of this, and then it won't actually X out of it. So you got to give it a minute or two, and it'll say not responding, but again, it's still responding. It's just generating a KCL. So once it's done, you should either see a little white window come up, or you should see like an X come up like around this area where my mouse is. So I'm gonna give this a minute or two. It might take a while, just don't worry about it. Be patient with it, because this is important. You won't be able to drive on the track unless you have this. So instead of going through the hassle of like pausing the video or whatever, no wait, good, I don't have to pause it. So we've got a white window, so I'm going to maximize it, hit File, Save As, and then notice it says Mario Kart 7 Collision KCL. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to save it as untitled.kcl. So there we go, we have all of them. So now we're just about ready for beta 0.01 testing. So I'm going to close out of here, and then since I have it set to defaultly open SCS files with EFE, I can just double click on it, but if you don't, then too bad, you gotta set that up. So now we're going to find the original file. So here's GN64 Luigi Circuit.bcmdl. We're going to right click and we're going to replace, and then go to here and find your BCRES file. You might have noticed that this is BCMDL and this is BCRES, but don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. The game still recognizes them. And do the same with the KCL file. So there we go. Now hit save. You do not want to hit save as, because then you'll save it as a simple archive or something. You just want to save it. And now I'm going to stick my 3DS's SD card in, and there we go. So I'm gonna copy this file, and I'm gonna go here. I have layered FS set up, so this is all I have to do. So now I'm going to eject this, and I'm gonna put in my 3DS and boot up custom firmware. Alright, so I'm on my 3DS and I just booted into custom firmware, and I have layered FS set up. So let's make sure that we know which course we edited. And we edited Luigi Raceway, or whatever the hell it's called. So let's go to single player. I'm gonna go to time trials. And make sure you don't have a ghost set up. So since I'm using layered FS, it might take a second or two longer to load the course. Don't worry about that. Okay, so here we go, and it's looking pretty nice so far. What I am noticing is around the back over here, we've got black trees. We've got black signs. But other than that, it actually looks great so far. This should be, yeah, see, and then let's make sure that the grass actually slows us down. Yeah, see, the grass is actually working. So I'm looking at the bottom map, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't go, that failed miserably. I'm gonna look at the map, and I'm gonna make sure that I don't go too far into the out of bounds area, so that I can actually, like, freaking play the track. Okay. Looks like I got through that part. Yeah, see, that was out of bounds. That spawn point actually wasn't too bad, considering I didn't edit it. But that camera angle, though. So this is gonna be a tough time. I can't see anything at all. Come on, I can't see anything. Yeah, this is not working out. And see, just like on my other version, the maps, like, they sync up in some ways, so that's good. Those black things, but unfortunately, I don't know if I can do that because every file explorer sucks. I mean, I don't mean to offend Chillicom, but I mean, it acts like it imports PNGs, but it actually doesn't. It just, like, it still shows the black space behind them. But on the actual preview, it looks like they're working, but they're actually not. But so that's something that I would like to get fixed, but I mean, he dropped the project. So we were almost able to complete a lap, and our lap didn't count because we're not even close to the actual finish line. But so I'm gonna make a note on Notepad right now, actually, and I'm gonna write higher quality textures. What else do we need? We need to rotate the model a little more so that, like, if you look, like, when we were back here, we saw that the respawn heights were a little, like, high. So we need to rotate the model up a little so that the respawn heights are better. So, rotate model upward. And I'm gonna restart the course so I can see again how good the like starting position was, because we might need to edit that, but it looked good. I'm just going to get another view at it to make sure that I wasn't mistaken. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, and something else that I was seeing is that back here and up front there was no boost panels. So we need to add boost panels. That's something that I can probably do pretty easily. And see, this KCL is actually working because we're unable to get into there. So I'm going to turn off my 3DS and I'll meet you on my PC. Hey guys, so for this part of the video, I actually had to go back and add the audio after, so I hope this doesn't affect like the quality of the video. For some reason it didn't save the audio, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm just going to be pretty much guessing what I was saying during the video and then saying it, and then adding this audio over the original video. So we have the issues. We have a KMP. We can't really fix that because I don't know how to make KMPs. It always inputs them as a Mario Kart DS file instead of a Mario Kart 7. So, and then we have the black stuff where it's supposed to be transparent. This cannot really be fixed, but I can make a workaround for it. Just use different textures that aren't PNGs. Like, for example, instead of putting like a bush or something, you can just put like green grass or something, so that'll look more natural than just black spots. And then the lag can't really be fixed, but I'm gonna make the textures higher quality instead of low quality ones because it lags anyway, so there's no reason to not have them high quality. So I'm actually going to go back and reconvert the images to PNG because like the only high quality ones we have are the TGAs, so I'm just going to reconvert these to PNG so that we have the quality of the TGAs, and then we'll put the high quality ones in the next release. So I'm just going to download all these real quick. So now we have all of them. I'm going to cut them and paste them into the folder the new folder actually. Actually, I'm just gonna skip them apparently. I don't know why. Okay, so yeah, I'm making a new folder called 0.02 because that's the next release, and I'm just gonna copy everything for now and paste them in there. And I'm going to delete those because we're going to make new ones anyway, so it's not necessary to have them. So now I'm going to cut them and paste them back into the project folder. And I'm going to overwrite all of them, so just do this for the next nine conflicts and paste them. So now we have the high quality textures. So that this won't like, probably it won't like make more lag and it won't make less lag, so obviously if it's not going to help performance, then we want higher quality textures. So now let's open up our project in SketchUp once again. And I think what I'm going to do now is fix the boost pads. I'm actually going to delete parts that we don't need to save a little file size, because those can't really be seen even if you're on the track, so I just deleted that. So I'm just looking around the map for like stuff that could cause potential issues. So now I'm gonna make the boost pads. So I'm gonna go to the make, and I'm going to use a rotated rectangle. And I'm gonna click at the top of the points, and sorry about that, the camera just spazzed out. But so I'm just gonna redo those 2 points. So I'm just gonna hit Control Z and just click anywhere. So let's go to the top where the points were, and then I'm going to get a good view of the this part. So just click at the top, then click at the bottom, and it should show up like this. So you see it's white, so we need to add textures to it later. But I didn't actually like that one because it covered up some parts of the track. So if you don't like it, then you can click on the other side and it might fix it. I don't know why. I don't know if it does, but it sometimes does for me. Just hope you get lucky and that'll fix it. So I have a boost pad in another folder that I'm going to copy. So I'm just going to search for the boost pad. You can extract this from pretty much any Mario Kart track. So there it is. So I'm going to copy this. Actually, I accidentally hit cut. I don't want to ruin this project just for this one, so I'm going to copy it and paste it into here so that we can use it as a material. So I made a new folder called textures. So this is going to be like imported textures, not necessarily from the track. And then I'm going to hit the create material button, and you can name it anything you want. So I'm going to use a texture image, so I'm going to go into my downloads, and I'm going to go into textures and find it. And then you see, there it is. The sizes will be majorly fucked up because Mario Kart tracks are huge. So now I'm just going to hit the paint bucket and it'll paste it. And you see it's tiny. So we need to go back in there and we need to edit it again. We need to edit the size of it. So but it's actually sideways too. So first we're going to rotate it. So I'm just going to hit the rotate 90 degrees clockwise button and then save it. And then we'll just close out of that, and I'm going to re-import it. So just use the same texture image, but it'll update it and then paste it, or not paste it, I mean like do the fill selection in there. So now we need to make the size bigger, so we're going to click on the entity info and then click on the face and then edit it and then change it to, see, 5,000 looks a little too big, so let's try 2,500. That looks good, but I think we could do a little better with like 2,700 maybe. So I'm liking that. There's no like duplicate colors, but so I would say 2,700 would be the best. But I'm gonna update that later in the video. So in this part, for some reason I chose 2,500, but we're actually gonna go back and do 2,700 later. And then you can unlink them so like they're different sizes. You can unlink them so like the size doesn't, or the height doesn't like influence the width of it. This is good. This is sometimes good, but sometimes it's not good because it'll like distort the textures, but in this case it might be good so that we don't like some colors aren't cut off. And so now only one side is textured. We need to texture the other side too. So I'm just going to click on it and then entity info and then scroll down to the bottom where you see material 2 or whatever the name of your material was. So this is important that you texture both sides, because if you don't, then it will like be white pixels all over the place, as you saw in my version 0.1 of this course. There was white pixels all over the place. That was because I only textured one side of it, so make sure you don't do that. And so now I'm going to do this for other ones too. So pretty much just click on the points that you want to make the boost pad at. I recommend testing 2 points so that you can see which one's better. And then you can also draw them from the bottom too. It's not limited to just drawing it from the top. And see, that's good because it doesn't go over the actual course, but if you want to, then you can just like make new rectangles but draw them from the top so that it'll go over the the parts that don't have any models or faces on them. I don't know if that made any sense, but so I'm just going to do it the easy way and just do it like that. And you see both sides of it are textured, but there is a little gap, so that could cause an issue later, but we'll just leave it for now. So we're going to be driving along it like my mouse just went. We're going to be driving along it like that, so we might see like jumps and stuff. We might jump over it and go high into the air, but we'll just leave it like this for now and see what's going to happen. But I'm actually going to look to see if there's a workaround for it, but I don't know if there actually is, but you see it deleted that part of the course too, so obviously we do not want that, so I'm going to deselect that top face. So I'm going to draw it from like another point that I can see visibly. And you see, like I was talking about before, there's blank spaces, so you can fix those pretty easily just by doing what I'm doing right now. And ignore like the black lines, because the black lines are just vertices. They're not going to show up in the course, so if you have a lot of black lines, it's not going to cause an issue. Just make sure that you only pay attention to the like faces. So that means more textures and more videogram for the 3DS, so it might cause a slight issue, but since it's already lagging like crazy, it's not gonna pose an issue to us. But I mean, it might, if your custom track doesn't lag yet, then this might be an issue. So sometimes it can be a pain to select the faces, so you need to get the camera at like strange angles to actually select it. So you need to like get under it and stuff, and see, like, you need to find places where it's not overlapping it. See, I just found one by going under the course. So now we have a few more that still need to be textured. So I'm going to go to the side and see, it's easier to select them from the side so that it doesn't like go over the other, because it doesn't know which ones you want to select. So I'm just going to choose the material that we had by going to entity info. So there we go, there's our boost pad. We need to do this for a lot of other ones, but I don't like this actually because you see the colors don't line up, so that makes it look like shit compared to that one. But the performance might matter, like the little jump could pretty much ruin the entire course. So I might remove this. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete this because, oh wait, we don't want to delete that. I'm just gonna try and delete it. So I'm just gonna delete like the vertices to make it, because I just don't want there to be a bunch of vertices that don't actually have any faces attached to them. So I'm gonna try and select some of these. But yeah, I'm just gonna delete these and add the boost pads in, because that's gonna take like a good like half hour, 20 minutes, and I already showed you how to make one of them, so now you can just pause the video and make the other ones. So I'll get back to you after I'm done with them, so I'll see you. Alright, so I finished putting the boost pads over here, so I also finished it on the other side too. So you can see that they're not the best, but they do the job for now. I'm just worried about this little gap in between every single one of them, because I mean that could cause major issues with like driving on it. Like you can see, like Mario Kart 7 physics are like way exaggerated. So like, I mean, if you saw then when we were playing it, probably saw that there was like a little bump right here. I don't even see much of a bump at all. I just know that like when we went off of this, we went like flying pretty much. Like we were like all the way up here and then back down. So yeah, not much to say. Now it's time to rotate the model a little bit upwards. So I'm going to select the entire thing. I'm going to select the like that, because if I just selected the quote, let me get out of here. If I just selected it, then it might not even select the boost pads. So, but I mean, I'll just give it a quick try just to make sure. Oh well, the boost pads are still attached, so I guess that we don't have to do that. We can just do it like this. I'm thinking about like that. I don't know why there's two of them here, but okay, so I don't know why there was two of them there, but I deleted the second one. Could that have been why the thing was so big? Could there have been two of them? Okay, whatever. So we just did this. We rotated the model upwards, higher quality textures, and we also added boost pads. So now the only issues are KMP, like the black stuff, it's supposed to be transparent, and the lag. Those I'm not going to be fixing during this video, but they're definitely possible to fix. Like, there's custom tracks that people have made, and they're nice. So I'm going to do File, and I'm just going to save this. And I'm going to do File, Export, 3D Model. I'm going to go to Downloads, GCN Luigi Circuit, and I'm going to export it here. So notice how we made a .2 folder and we didn't even use it. I'm just going to skip that version for now. And you can see that these files are in TGA format when we need them to be in PNG, but that's no big deal. Like, that's why we made this folder. We're going to copy these, and notice how they're the higher quality ones. We're going to copy these and we're going to paste them into here. So we can just ignore the other TGAs for now. It's not going to read them because the MTL file isn't going to have it in there. So let's go to the online converter again, and let's go to the texture. Oh wait, no, we need to do the, yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to use this now. So let's upload this, and then let's convert it to a day, or not a day, an OBJ. So once this loads, you're going to hit start. Alright, so let's download these. And we can close out of Google Chrome. We got those, let's cut them and paste them into here. So now we have our models and our HQ textures. I was about to say HD, but then I'm like, no, they're not 720. The 3DS screen is only 400 by 240. So like, it's not that useful to have like extremely nice textures unless you're using like an emulator or something. I don't even know if that'll help. So now what we're going to do is File, New from File, Nintendo 3DS plugin, and CTO Graphics, CGFX. So in here we've got this. Remember the model name. We have to make sure that it's the proper name. No, I don't mean to open up that. I can probably just close out of SketchUp. So paste that in there, hit OK. And parameter is not valid, but this is because we forgot to change the MTL. So I'm going to open that up, and I just click Control H, but I'm going to search for TGA and replace it with PNG. So replace all, cancel, save. Yes, I do want to save that. So now let's try this again. Okay, there it goes. I'm just moving up so that I can actually see what's going on. Yeah, it's looking nice. Notice how these textures are looking a lot better. So I'm gonna do a file, save as. I'm gonna go into here and save it as untitled.bcrs. So there we are, we're done with that. Now, if you remember from last time, I'm going to do the KCL. So we want to drive on that. This is grass, so ID 2162. If you don't know where I'm getting it from, it's just the file name right there. So I'm gonna open up a KCL ID list, and I'm gonna search for grass. So let's use 85. So there we go. 2272. This is just signs, and we don't want to be able to drive on the signs, so. A metal wall. Let's use 55 again, because that worked pretty well last time. This is a road, so obviously we want to be able to drive on that. This is water, so ID 2750 equals. We want to use the water, like, fall boundary thing. Here it is, 39. And this is trees, and we don't want to be able to drive on those. I'm just going to set them as a metal wall, even though they're not technically metal walls. It's not going to be, the game isn't going to know a difference, so don't worry about that. Yeah, those look good. This is a boost pad, so ID 3872. But if I remember correctly, it's hard to find a boost pad. Speed boost, no SFX. So let's try 8. I must have been mistaken, because it looks like it was pretty easy to find a boost pad. Or A8, I think it might have been. What was the first one? I don't know if it's this one or if it's A8, but since it says the rainbow colored plates, I might just go. I'm thinking about just doing this one right here. Okay, so ID 6. Looks like we don't need to edit that. Nope. So there we go. We've got. So we can close out of this now. File, new from file, Mario Kart plugin, Mario Kart 7 collision, KCL, find your new model, and so ID 2162 is 85. ID 2271 is 55. ID 2750 is 39. ID 2763 is 55. ID 3872 is 8. So there we go. We've got all of our KCL values. Now we're going to X out of it again, and it's not actually closing out of it. It's just generating the KCL. And note that these names will change. They might, some of them stay the same, but if you add new textures and stuff, these probably will change every time you edit the model. So I'm just gonna save this as change log or something. just save this again, close out of it for now, and now let's file, save as. Let's go into here and let's save it as untitled.kcl. So there we go. Let's take a look at the, oh, this is a huge one, 2.03 and 921, but since the textures were a lot bigger, I'm expecting a much bigger file size. Since the lag can't even be fixed by me, other people can probably fix the lag, but I myself can't, so it's no use to use lower quality textures if the lag can't even be fixed. So now let's go in here and find the file, and we're going to hit replace, and then find the BCRES and replace it. And let's do the KCL too. So there we have it. I didn't even check the folder, so I'm going to make sure that I actually got it from the right folder. Okay. So we have that. Okay, so I'm back on my 3DS, and I'm booted into custom firmware, and I'm about to load the track. So we should notice the changes that we made, and there shouldn't be much else changed, so let's hope this actually worked out. We are a little farther back than we were before, but that's just probably because we rotated it. We didn't rotate it about the finish line, we rotated it about the origin. So yeah, you can see that the textures are much higher quality. It actually looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. So I'm just, wait, that respawn point though, that was actually kind of epic. I was right in between in the middle of the sign. And I always notice that whenever going out off of this, that can probably be fixed by it looks like it's just an issue with this. It looks like it's just an issue with this arrow sign, because it thinks that that's part of the track when it's actually not. So we can probably just set it to not even collide with it or something. So I'm gonna look down here to make sure that I'm not even. Yeah, this KCL actually seems to be, this KMP, it seems to be fitting with this new model a lot better. Even though we didn't even edit the model much, I mean, all we did was rotate it a little, but it still looks like they get along decently well. So one of the first things I said during this video is that if you're one of those people who can't even think for yourself without a good tutorial on how to do it, then this probably isn't for you. But I did the best I could to make a good video on how to make custom tracks. But obviously it's not perfect because there's an hour of footage here and I made a mistake or two, so I'll add annotations to make it the best experience for you. And if you can't even think for yourself, then this probably isn't for you, because you need creativity, and pretty much this isn't following it straight from a step-by-step guide. There's a lot more to it than just following this. You have to know how to fix bugs when they happen. Like, I fixed a few bugs during this video, so just use that as an example. Oh wait, we didn't even test the boost pads. But I can't see anything, so, okay. Yeah, the boost pads are actually working a lot better than I thought they would. I'm gonna see if I can get back. I don't even know what I just said. I'm gonna see if I can get back over there and actually drive it like I normally would. But this spawn location though sucks. You know what? I'm just gonna restart the course and I'll go back over there. But other than just testing these boost pads, I don't think that there's much more that I can show you. Because I already determined during this video that you cannot make a custom map for a custom track unless you Pablo hack and glitch. That's above me. Yeah, this seems drivable on. And I think the camera just flipped upside down. And it spawned us here again. But again, this is good to test that our KMP, the KCL is actually working for the signs. Just for fun, let's do a little exploration. Nope, that didn't even work out. But whatever, so thank you guys for watching this video. If this helped you, then you can support by leaving a like, a comment, anything. And so I'll see you guys later with another video coming soon, probably. Bye.